Threads. What do you think when you hear the word threads? Do you perhaps think about some material, pulling at a thread? Or perhaps you are thinking of an exchange of ideas on social media or on a blog as you follow the thread. It might be that your mind considers clothing, as some people are apt to comment, "Hey, nice threads, dude," when you see somebody stepping out in a new outfit. Or some of you might think about the British film Threads, which was about a nuclear attack on the United Kingdom, specifically the city of Sheffield, which is described as the closest nuclear war that you would ever want to come. I recall as a young boy seeing the film, and the reaction of other people who had also seen the film was one where they were utterly terrified. They were completely terrified by what they had seen. I, of course, not experiencing fear, found it absolutely fascinating to watch in terms of the depiction and the aftermath that followed, demonstrating that there was little hope for humanity following the initial exchange and devastation caused by the nuclear warheads hitting Britain. I've watched a number of films about nuclear Armageddon, for instance, the American The Day After, which is somewhat more optimistic, certainly a decent portrayal initially of when the attack occurs, but then so much of the United States seems to have been left intact thereafter that civilization can get back on its feet. Contrast that with the British version, which demonstrates that essentially the population plummets to medieval levels and they're there trying to eke out a terrible existence with uneducated individuals affected by cataracts and skin cancer because of the collapse of the ozone layer. I remember many years after it had first been aired, when it was aired I was a wee nipper, but I watched it on DVD. And I remember at the time doing so with an intimate partner primary source. She begged for me to turn it off because she found it too disturbing. I refused, and therefore she ended up having to leave the room. So perhaps some of you think back to Threads, the film, if you've happened to have seen it. If you haven't, I would encourage you to do so, because even though it is many years old and some of the special effects leave a little bit desired, it is still the most visceral portrayal of a nuclear attack that I have watched. You might want to read some of the reviews on IMDb beforehand. Nevertheless, this isn't about the film Threads, although my mind wandered there to tell you a little about my recollections about the film. In actual fact, it's about the new social media platform that Mr. Zuckerberg has created as a rival to Elon Musk's Twitter, with a rumoured cage fight being organised between the two, between the Zuck and the Musk. It would appear that the two titans of tech might well clash in the cage, and Zuck wants to throw his weight around in terms of creating a Twitter rival. And accordingly, I have created my own account that you will find there, which, unsurprisingly enough, follows the usual descriptions that you associate with my work. It's the Ultra, H.G. Tudor, and goes by the description of Knowing the Narcissist, the Ultra, as it shares the same profile that was created in terms of the one that I had on Instagram. If you'd like to join me there, and I'd encourage you to do so, I've put the link in the video description so that you can either click on it or copy and paste it so that you can find my Threads platform and join the followers which are starting to amass there. You will find that material about narcissism that you won't find anywhere else will be shared, but also some of my observations and insights on a day-to-day basis and giving you insight into my world and the things that I do will also appear there. So there'll be aspects of the life of the Ultra that you will learn that you won't find necessarily on YouTube. Accordingly, do become a member and share to other people so that they are able to access the world's best source of material about narcissism and psychopathy. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.